Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Oh my God, the light in here is so bright. It's like crazy. We have a sunlight in here. I don't know if you can see it or not from there, but we have a sunlight in here, which makes our bathroom completely lit up during the day. I have no lights on in here right now. This is the natural sunlight from our sunlight up above. So I've been getting a lot of questions from you guys asking me how the plants are doing since I have moved them inside. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update. Before I do though, I want to explain a few things to you. I am not somebody that does very well at keeping plants alive inside. So depending on how this goes through the winter, I'm sure I will give you guys updates from time to time, but I'm sure that I will be heavily criticized, but I am doing my best with the aid of my neighbor next door. Now, my neighbor across the street, she has beautiful gardens. I've shown you guys that. She has gardens in her front yard, gardens in her backyard, but she has told me she's not great with plants inside. Like, she doesn't do a lot with plants inside and things like that. My neighbor next door, she doesn't do a lot with plants outside, but she has an entire room in her house dedicated to plants. And I actually asked her if she wanted our 2 palm trees because she has a lot of tropical plants in her house. And she was like, listen, I really appreciate it, but I have a lot already. If you want me to give you some suggestions, I'm more than willing to do that. So she is gonna kind of help me through this journey of trying to keep these plants alive, hopefully through the winter. This is something I have never tried before. So I'm like, fingers crossed that this will work. So let me give you a little tour of the plants. The 3, well, we actually have 4 plants because this plant right here, so this is Sally, and Sally was downstairs, and I think I actually got Sally at the Meijer like years ago, and she wasn't getting enough light downstairs, so we moved her up into the bathroom. She's a little wet right now because I just sprayed her with the spray bottle, but she actually does really well. We don't have to water her that often. And she kind of like, this is how she's been for probably like the last 2 years. So she's doing okay. I mean, every once in a while we have to kind of like pick something dead off of her, but she's doing okay. She's doing pretty good. She's like stayed over here for like the last, I think, well, maybe year, 2 years, I think. So anyway, so I had mentioned to Alex that I really wanted to keep Felicious. Here's Felicious. Hi, Felicious. How are you doing, sweetheart? I really wanted to keep her alive through the winter. You know, every year I get I have like huge attachment issues, first of all, okay? So every year I get all these plants, but then at the end of the year, when I have to like throw them out, I have a really, really difficult time doing that. Like, I get really attached to my plants. I know that sounds so strange when you only have them for 3 or 4 months, but I get very attached to my plants. I think that one of the things that happened was that we probably should have moved them inside a little bit sooner. Felicious is doing okay. The 2 palm trees, they're struggling a little bit. So let me tell you, I talked to my vlog about this because I had already named Felicious, and you can see she's still doing pretty well. I don't know if you can see, I wanted to put her above. So I've got to go through here. There's like some dead stuff. This is one of my goals for the next day or 2 is that I'm gonna go in here. I've been doing it with the palm trees, but I need to do it with Felicious is I need to cut back all of like the dead leaves and things like that. So anyway, I have her actually on a table. I don't know if you can see that, but I have her on a table. So she's a little bit above them. And so she's not like hunkered down in between the plants, just sitting there. I would love to hang her, but we don't have a hanging thing in here. And because we're gonna do a major bathroom redo in a couple years, like I don't know how that'll affect it. So I have her on a table. She seems to be doing really well. I've been watering her about every other day. She seems to be maintaining, and in fact, she actually seems a lot like darker green now than she did outside. So she made it through November. I'm very proud of her. If I can keep her alive through next spring and hang her outside again, I'm gonna be so happy. And then this will be an every year kind of thing. So I have Felicious, and then I said this whole thing. I feel like there's something on my, I've been like going through these plants. I was like so worried to make this video. I was like, people are gonna be like, they're dead, they're dead. They're not dead, they're doing okay. You can see down here. I don't know if you can see, but like I picked through some of the palm trees, but they're still doing good. This part down here is like thriving. You can still see there's some flowers in it and stuff like that. I did have to pick through some of the dead stuff, but they're doing okay. So they're not doing fantastic, but they're doing okay. I'm hoping that they will revive a little bit. When we brought them up, they were not doing good. I mean, they were doing okay, like they had made it through the first part of November, but they weren't doing great. So Alex has really been helping me with this too. Alex is actually, I'm the one that wants to have inside plants. So if you guys remember when I would film in the chair downstairs, which we will be returning to soon, being that winter is coming, I have those plants behind me. But we have several succulents. And then several years ago for Christmas, I wanted these big plants that you can order online. And they just kind of have like water tubs that you have to keep filled like every month. And Alex is fantastic about keeping those filled. And so if the plants stay alive inside, it's because of Alex, it's not because of me. So anyway, he knew that I was really attached to these plants. Now, the palm trees, we didn't go out on our back porch other than take Boo Radley out in the backyard. I don't think one time did we sit out there this whole summer. But what's interesting is that I bought them from Costco. I think they were like $49.95 each. Yeah, see, they're a little dry, even though I've been watering them. So I'm hoping that they start catching up a little bit. The thing is that I didn't water them a lot this summer. If you watch my vlog, you'll know I forgot to water them for extensive periods of time, and just based on the rain, they stayed alive and thrived all summer long. Like what you're seeing now is like the end of October when it started getting really cold outside, and the beginning part of November. Before that, they were thriving. I mean, even until like the middle of October, they were doing very well. There was a lot of flowering going on. The palm fronds were doing really, really well and things like that. So Alex knew that I love these plants, and so he was like, do you want me to bring them inside from the back patio? And I said, sure. So he brought them inside, kind of surprised me one night with them, and so I was like, do you think we could bring Felicious up here too? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. So I brought Felicious up here, and with Sally over here. Now, she had a sister. Her sister was Susan, but Susan didn't do very well. So Susan's not with us anymore. Rest in peace, Susan. So anyway, I talked about it on my vlog, and I said, well, Felicious has two brothers, but I don't know what. So there's one palm tree over here, and then there's one palm tree over here. You can see they're both kind of like doing similar. They're not doing fantastic, but they're doing okay. So I was like, I do not know what to name them. Now, I'm like really big into naming things. So I was like, I don't know what to name them. And so many people suggested things in my vlog, and I said I was going to pick the names off of that. And somebody suggested Simon and Garfunkel. And so my mom loved Simon and Garfunkel, the duo. She listened to their music when I was growing up. I know all their music. I loved their music when I was a kid. I still love it to this day. And because I think that my mom, you know, my mom would always say to me when I was younger, like, this condo will be yours someday. And I would say, I will never live in that condo. And now I live in it and I love it. And you guys know that it's like important to me to make it really cozy. And it's like such a great home for Alex and I. Boo Radley is laying in the bed over there. And so, you know, Alex and I have just really made it our own. I've recently started cleaning out tons. The closet is right over there, which I've cleaned out. And so I think that my mom would find so much happiness in that. Not in that I was living in the house that had been hers, but in the fact that we had turned it into a home that we were enjoying. I think that would mean a lot to her. And I think she would love the idea because we don't use our bathtub. So years ago, we had a leak from our bathtub down into the bathroom downstairs. It was fixed, but they turned the water off in the tub. And we were planning to turn around and do a bathroom remodel right then. But like, if you watch my vlog, like I say, you'll know. When I say I'm going to do something in a week, it ends up being 2 years. So, we still haven't done that bathroom remodel yet, obviously. So and we're not big bath takers anyway. I would probably, but I want like a big garden tub thing. We want the shower extended over to about halfway through the room, into the closet and all this kind of stuff. So we're going to do this huge bathroom remodel. So we just never had like a plumber come in and turn the water back on and all that kind of stuff. So we don't use the bathtub. Now, it can drain water, but the water doesn't turn on. See, I'll show you. Well, it's already on, but see, it doesn't turn on or anything like that. So it'll still drain water. So, I just think that would make my mom so happy that we were enjoying the house and I was trying to make these plants live. My mom was somebody that loved plants, and so she always gave plants as gifts to people. And so I think the fact that I was trying to keep these plants alive through the winter would make her so happy. She had a fern that she kept on our porch that was like a 365-day-a-year porch. She kept that there for years and years and years and made it live. So I was like, if my mom can do it, I can do it. So anyway, because of that reason, I thought Simon and Garfunkel were a perfect name. So we got Simon, Garfunkel, Felicious, and Sally, who is still grieving the loss of her sister, Susan. So anyway, and we might have to buy another Susan depending on how this goes. So this is their new home. They get a lot of sunlight during the day, as you can see. I've been spraying them about every other day and watering them about every other day. I think the palm trees don't need to be watered that much. I think I'm going to go to about every 4th day of watering them because they seem to be doing better when I was forgetting to water them and they were on the back patio and they weren't getting watered a lot. So I think that I'm going to slow down on the watering with them. Felicious, like, I'm as much as I'm watering her, she's drinking and she's doing really well. So this is the new plant's home. What do we think? Well, let's do a little spritz on them right here. If you guys have any suggestions, put it in the comment section below. I would really, really appreciate it. I know this probably seems corny. I know there are some plant lovers out there that are probably just going to eat me alive and be like, Peter, what you're not doing right is this, what you're not doing right is that. I'm trying so hard. Like, I don't think you have any idea how much it means to me to try to keep these plants alive until next spring. If I can make it till like April, which is when warm weather starts being consistent in Indiana, then the palm trees are going back on the back patio. Felicious is going back out on the front porch. Susan will be here for us forever. Unfortunately, not Susan, Sally. Sally will be with us forever in the bathroom. Unfortunately, her sister Susan is gone. We've already talked about that. You know, God rest you, Susan. We missed you. But anyway, and that is my plan. And I'm hoping that they will not only survive, but that they'll thrive through the winter. So that's my plan. Like I said, my neighbor's going to help me and give me some suggestions and stuff with what she does. But she has like plant lights and, oh, look, who's coming to visit the plants? Boo Radley, you want to come over here and say hi to Susan? Oh, poor Susan. He ran away. See, he went away. Susan, I can't handle it. Susan's gone. Anyway, so she's going to help me with that. Also, I haven't asked her, but if you guys would like to see a tour of her plants inside, I mean, she has an entire bedroom where all of her plants, because she had like, when you go up to her front door, she has like this amazing thing of like tropical plants. And then she had one of these huge like wicker chairs, you know, bamboo chairs with a table next to it. And she would sit out there and drink coffee and read and stuff like that. I think she moved all those plants, I know she did. She moved all those plants inside this bedroom and she's got like grow lights in there and stuff like that. She's very down with the plants. So I can ask her if you guys would like me to do a tour of how she grows these plants inside. Her entire house has plants in it. So she might let me do that. I don't know. But if that's something that you guys would like to see, since you saw my neighbor across the street, her gardens, I can ask her that. She's been in videos of mine before. It's Laura. She's been in some review videos of mine. So anyway, so I'm trying. We love them so much. We love you guys. Stick around, please. Stay. Make it through the winter. We love you so much. Anyway, I know people were wanting to know where they're at and how they're doing. So this is where they're at and how they're doing. Anyway, I love you guys so much. I hope in the next update that Simon and Garfunkel will be a little more green in their leaves and they'll be thriving a little bit more. And that Felicious is still doing as great as she ever was. So anyway, just wanted to let you guys know the update on that and where they were now. And yeah, so I love you guys and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.